Hey guys, what's going on? Today you're going to learn how to automate your AI UGC content on autopilot using N8N, okay? And as a bonus, I'm giving this entire JSON template for free, okay? This means that you can download this entire thing for free, import it into your N8N, and just essentially add your API keys for Hagen or any other AI UGC platform that you choose to work with, okay? And just add some authentication for your Gmail, okay? And if you're a complete beginner, don't worry, I'm gonna explain you exactly where to find your API keys for Hagen and also how to do login credentials for your Gmail when you're working in N8N, okay? So this is really good for content creators, okay? If you wanna put your AI twin, for example, okay? If you wanna clone yourself and put out a content on autopilot every day on top of your organic one, okay? This is really good for content creators. And in general, if you wanna learn how to automate AI content, okay? So it's not restricted really just to, AI avatar. It can be anything, guys. You've probably seen these trending videos of like animals, like gorilla one, so it's really trending right now where there's like a gorilla and does like crazy activities in the forest. And it's all essentially AI automation. So somebody has very similar setup, just instead of a AI avatar or cloning yourself, they are generating characters like, for example, animals, and they're doing some crazy and fun stuff, okay? And then just the whole thing gets automated and gets auto-posted on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, guys, okay? So you can essentially do it. In our flow, I'm essentially logging everything into a Excel sheet, but you can do it in a way that you can connect it to your social media accounts or TikTok APIs and stuff like that, guys. So from creation to scripting and all the way down to uploading to social media accounts is fully automated to N8N, guys, okay? And that's pretty cool. And if that sounds something that you would love to learn, then let's dive into it right away, and I'm gonna explain you how it works. And guys, don't forget to download this entire JSON template because you can get it for free, plug and play your API keys, and you are good to go just like that, guys, okay? Okay, so let me explain you how that works here, okay? So essentially what it does, it auto-generates AI UGC content on autopilot, logs it into Excel sheet, and sends me a Gmail notification when it's done, okay? But I took it a bit a level higher, guys. And essentially every time there's generated UGC content ready to go, I get this really nicely styled email notification, which is fully custom made, guys. So this doesn't come by default. By default, N8N will send you plain text. But again, I'm taking it a level higher for you guys exclusively, okay? So it's super nicely styled email template. Okay, so we have the date, okay? We have the niche, okay? We have the estimated engagement rate based on the content idea. We have the duration. Here we have a generated script, okay? Avatar ID, voice, and also how many characters, and video ID. And you can just go ahead and click on view video, and it's gonna take you to the generated video AI avatar, guys, which is pretty awesome, okay? And on top of that, you have this nicely formatted Excel sheet, and essentially you have very similar data that you are getting logged through your Gmail notification. So it's really a more of a preference, okay? You wanna deal with Excel sheets, or you're gonna get Gmail notification, or you want to have best of the worlds and have both of those, okay? So I'm giving you both of them for free, guys. All of that included in N8N JSON template that you can download for free and use it right away, okay? So essentially that's what it does, and this is how it's done behind the scenes. So first of all, we have a schedule trigger, okay? So in N8N, everything is called a node. So all of these are nodes, and each of the nodes have options and params, and you can essentially tailor it in a way what do you want that node to do exactly, to what extent, and stuff like that. So think of a node as a little human, and now you're giving this human different characteristics, what it does and how it's supposed to behave, and with which other humans it should connect, in a simple terms, okay? So we have the node right here, and this is a daily schedule trigger. So this little node right here, all it does really is responsible for triggering this entire workflow on a daily basis, or you can put it on an hourly basis, and etc. Pretty easy, guys. And if you want to know how to add nodes, guys, all you're going to do is just click on add node, and you can search for here it is. I think it's called daily, not daily, guys, sorry, schedule. Here, schedule trigger. So essentially this one right here. And that's how you can add different nodes. Okay, if you want to add AI agent, I'm just going to type in AI agent. Okay, and also explain how AI agent works, guys. And if you want to learn how to make fully customized AI agents that can send emails for you, answer your Gmail, I will be also uploading a video on that topic, and you will get a free JSON template. So make sure to subscribe, because with every video that I'm uploading, I will be including a free JSON template for 100% free that you can plug and play into your NA8 and start playing around with it and learning the foundations of NA10 and automations, guys. All right. Cool, guys. So from here on, essentially, we are sending all of this data to AI script generator. Okay. So our scheduled trigger essentially is divided into a three actions. Okay. We are sending the action to script generator, which is AI agent, get available avatars from Hagen, and get available voices from Hagen. Okay, Hagen is working with 11 Labs, so we're pulling essentially 11 Labs voices through Hagen. Okay, so and then we are putting all of that together through a merge node, guys. So merge is pretty easy, guys. All merge does essentially it merges multiple nodes together into A1, and then we're going to send it off the data further, and we'll get back to that. So first, now let's cover the AI script generator AI agent, how it's working, how it's connecting to AI models, and also why we have something called script memory in here. Okay. So the first one, we have AI script generator, or aka AI agent, and all it does, it's our in-house script generator. So all it does, it just generates unique scripts based on a couple of prompts right here, guys. Okay, so this AI agent generates unique and different AI based scripts every time it runs the schedule trigger. Okay, so every time it creates new content, it's going to be always unique and different, but within the same niche. Okay, so here I'm defining essentially the niches, which are Shopify, e-commerce, dropshipping, AI tools, product reviews, and behind the scenes business content style. Okay, and I'm giving a sort of a script strategy or layout for the AI to understand. Okay, so here I'm saying you can use something like before and after, include specific benefits or results, and be between 40 to 120 words max. Okay, because shorts are usually very short, and you shouldn't be putting like 5 or 10-minute long scripts into there, guys. Okay, so this way you can controlling what AI agent is generating for your script by using prompt. Okay, so all of these, this box right here is called prompt or system prompt, and think of prompt essentially as an instruction for the AI agent. So here is the input, here is the AI agent doing its thing, and here is the output for the script, guys. Okay, so if I zoom in a little bit, you can see the script generated. I just discovered the power of social commerce, blah, blah, blah. So this was fully generated through AI agent node right here, guys. Okay, and essentially, you can choose which model you want to use. You can use one of the ChatGPTs, 4.0, 4.1, mini models, or even if you want to use, you can use Claude, for example. I do like for content more ChatGPT 4.0 because it's very, it's human-like and has a better understanding and language understanding closer to how we would speak and create scripts. Okay. If you use something cheaper like 3.4, it's going to be 3.5, it's going to be very cold and static, so I don't suggest. So my suggestion is always use model 4.0, okay? Because text generation doesn't take too much API cost. It won't be costing you too much, guys, so don't worry about it. And if you're a complete beginner, guys, if you need an API key, okay, from OpenAI to use in your AI agent, guys, it's really easy, guys. So first of all, you will need to connect the model node right here, guys, okay? Because AI agent on its own doesn't do anything. You need to connect a chat model. So it's really easy. Here you can see it says chat model. You're going to click on connect, and then you're going to choose which model you want to connect, okay? And then it's going to ask you to add credentials, and it's really easy. You're going to click on create new credentials. You're going to go to openai.com. You're going to log in into your API platform. Let me guys show you quickly so you kind of see it visually. So here I'm going to go to my OpenAI account. I'm going to log in. I believe I need to re-authenticate. So I'll choose my personal account for an example. Okay. So then you go to dashboard. okay? And then you're gonna go to API keys right here. And here you're gonna click on create new secret, give it any name, doesn't really matter. And once it generates, it's gonna give you API key once. If you close it, you won't be able to see it again. So you need to generate a new one, but it's okay. You can generate as many as you want, doesn't really matter. So here you're gonna copy paste your API key, okay? And you're gonna bring it right here and just paste it in there and click save, and that's it. Now you have a API key running for OpenAI for ChatGPT in your N8 flow, and you can generate content, scripts, and anything really you want, guys, okay? Cool. Then we're using something called a simple memory, or I just renamed it to be called script memory. So I'm essentially storing it in the script memory key. Okay, so think of keys as so imagine a virtual memory, and each memory has its own key. Okay, so it can be key number 1, key number 2, and etc. And under these keys, you are storing that specific data. Okay, so that's essentially how databases work. We're using very simple architecture in N8N, which is simple memory. So it only stores some basic memory within N8N. Okay, and why we would do that, if you ask? So we're using it because we want to give some past data to ChatGPT to make sure that we don't repeat the same content over again. So essentially, aka the context. Okay, so it has some past context about the scripts that we generated. So we are essentially just making double sure that we are always generating unique content and that ChatGPT won't repeat itself and create the same content on the same topic, for example. Okay, so essentially we're giving past data so we can get a unique content each time the flow is running. Okay, guys. So, and then we are merging all of these together. So AI agent script. And let me just go over these two nodes right here. Okay, so we have get available avatars and get available voices. Okay, essentially what these are, we are pulling all the available avatars from agent through API, and then we are pulling all of the available voices through also a agent APIs, guys. Okay, so the way it works. Essentially, you have a URL endpoint, okay, which is the API endpoint to get all the avatars, okay. So here you can see once this endpoint runs, we are pulling all of this massive amount of data, which are essentially all available avatars from agent through their API, okay. So here I deleted my API keys, guys, because as you know, we don't share API keys publicly, okay. So make sure you store your API keys in a safe place and nobody gets to see them, because if they do, they're just going to use it and exceed all of your credits. Okay, so yeah, that's why I removed my API key, but that's how it's going to work. If you don't get your API key, guys, all you're going to do, you're going to go to agent, and then you're going to go to the profile settings. And then once you are on the profile settings, just go to subscriptions and API, guys, and here you have agent API, guys. Okay, and you're going to click on generate API key. I already created one, so I don't have a option to do it again. Okay, so once you create it, you will get an option to see it. If you close it, you will still have an option to copy. So you're going to copy your API token, bring it right here, and essentially copy paste it. And this way you will be able to authenticate your agent API endpoint and get all of the available data for the avatars. Okay. And essentially the same practice applies to voices, guys. I'm not going to open it because essentially exactly the same thing, just instead of avatars, we are pulling voices endpoint, guys. Okay. And if you want to know what are the correct endpoints for API calls to get data, okay, if you're using something else rather than agent, maybe Creatify or Arcades, guys, you will need to check with their documentation to see which are the correct endpoints. Okay, so all of that can be easily found. So let me just show you how I would go about it, guys. Okay, so let me just search for agent API documentation. Okay, so here I'm gonna go with the first result, guys. Okay, and I'm gonna search for avatars. Okay. And here, guys, list all avatars. That's the one we want. We are using V2 because that is the latest version for the APIs from Agent, guys. And here it is, API-agent.com V2 avatars. And this API endpoint is giving us a list of all avatars. Okay, and the same documentation in a similar style will be available through other platforms, either using Creatify or Arcades or whichever AI UGC generation platform does have APIs, they will have essentially very similar approach to get all of their data through APIs, through their documentation. Okay, so make sure that you double check that you're using the right endpoints for your AI UGC platform. Okay, guys, so that's for that. And then we're merging all of these three together. So again, script generator agent, get available avatars, get available voices. We're merging that into one node. And then we're sending it to prepare the video data using a JS node, guys. Okay, so this is a little bit more complex, guys. If you're not familiar with JavaScript, I do highly suggest that you use Claude for this. Okay, make sure you're using Claude for Sonnet version, the one that was released recently, or you can try even 3.7, but I do highly suggest you use Claude version 4 for this. Okay, and you can ask Claude to generate you a script to prepare the data. Okay, I'm not going to be diving into JavaScript basics and foundations, but if you guys are somebody who wants to really understand the logic and how JS integrates and what are the benefits of using JS code in n8n, guys, let me know down in the comments, and I'll do a very basic course and sort of a breakdown of JS code, foundations and the basics for you as a beginner, and how we are using that in n8n, guys. Okay, so leave it down in the comment, and I'll definitely drop a free course on that as well. But for now, essentially all we're doing, we are grabbing all of that data from the merge node, okay, and then we're going to be sort of doing a cleanup and preparation so we can further down send it to the next nodes in the expected format, guys. So after the JS node, we are sending everything to generate agent video to the API, guys. And here we are using, again, we're using the endpoints, guys. So you will need to work a little bit with documentations for the AI UGC platform to make sure you're using the right endpoints, okay? Because to get avatars is one endpoint, to get voices is different endpoint. And also here we're using a post method, not the get, guys, okay? So get method is only used when we're trying to get something from API endpoint, and we're using post to send data to API endpoint. Like here, for example, we're sending all of the data prepared and essentially cleaned up to the agent to now start generating the video, okay? So essentially, when we're sending something to API, we're always going to be using post. If we're getting a data from API, we're going to be using a get method, okay, guys? And once that is done, we are sending it essentially to a wait node, okay? So I always suggest to put wait nodes in between more complicated processes, like here with the JS, then we send it to API. And just before we send it off to check for status, let's wait for 30 seconds, okay? It's just giving a extra time to generate the video, but for sure it will not be ready in 30 seconds if it's something longer than 10 or 15-second video, guys, okay? That's why we are using something called retry loop right here. And essentially, trial loop works in a way that it goes through a if statement. An if statement is essentially looking for a status of the API, which should be completed, okay? If it's something like in progress or in queue or failed, okay, the if statement will be never met. So we can only continue to the next step, which is preparing the data to be logged and sent to the Gmail, meaning the video is successfully generated, only if the if statement equals completed or essentially true or false, if we're talking about in programming language, guys. But again, here we are looking for a status completed in order to continue to the next step, which means video was a success, okay? And the way it works, it's gonna wait and retry every 45 seconds if the completed status is not met, okay? So after 45 seconds, it's gonna check the if statement. If the status is not completed, it's gonna go on the loop, and it's gonna go essentially on the loop until the status is completed, okay? And here I'm using error handling. So if there have been way too many retries, okay, and it's been on a loop, maybe there's something wrong with the API or agent or whatever. So if there's been too many attempts to create video or too many retry loops, it's gonna essentially throw an error, and it's gonna say something video generation failed or timed out, okay? So we use a standard classification. If something is trying, if something is being tried too many times in the flow, we are throwing timeout error, okay? It's pretty standard in classic error in programming, so we're using the same thing in here as well. But if everything is good and everybody's happy and the video is completed and success, we're going to be moving on to a next node, which is as well as a JS node. Okay, and all we're really doing here, we are essentially converting and cleaning up and parsing the data to be logged to Excel sheet. Okay, so because Excel sheet is expecting a specific format. Okay, so here we have a date, time, and video right here rows. Okay, so each of the rows has a specific expected format. So here date, time, a video URL, etc. guys. So in order for it to work, it has to be formatted in the correct format. And that's essentially what we are using the JS node for, to format all of that in correct format and to extract the right data and send it to Excel sheet and stuff like that. And then further down to send it to Gmail notification, guys. Okay, so think of this as a cleanup service and formatting service in simple terms, guys. Okay, and if that is success, we are sending that to our Google spreadsheets. Okay, and it's really easy to create an account to be used and authenticated for your sheets or Gmail, whatever, guys. All you're gonna do, gonna click here on the drop-down menu, create new credential, and literally just sign in with your Gmail account, allow access to all the required events, and you are good to go, guys. And with this, you can essentially create agents that are that can schedule something for you on the calendar, create appointments, answer to emails, organize your emails, and stuff like that, guys. And also, I will be dropping a course on that, how to use that in N8N, how to create your personal assistants, guys. So make sure to subscribe so you can check out these cool videos and download the JSON templates for free, guys. Okay, so make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm dropping all these value-packed videos, and always I'm including instructions and JSON templates for free, guys. Okay, cool, guys. So once that is locked to Excel sheet, all I'm doing now, I'm going to my final node and essentially to my Gmail, and I'm sending a notification with the data that I want to see in that email. Okay, so here I'm using operation send. It's that simple. You want to send, you want to get, what you want to do with your Gmail. Okay, it's a message to my email. Okay, and here it's a subject, and in the subject I'm using expression, so I can use verbal because each time there will be a new video, it's going to have different title and different niche. So to log dynamic data based on the video, instead of having the same title, I'm using a expression. And expression lets us pull the dynamic data from each of the video scripts and data generated. Okay, and that we are doing through accessing a JSON that niche. Okay, and all of those are essentially coming from the previous nodes and from the JS node once it transforms the data in the expected format for the Gmail. Okay, I guess I'm gonna also execute the entire workflow, and I'm gonna show you how the inputs and outputs look as well. Okay, and then I'm using a bit of standard email styling and formatting. Okay, so I'm using something called style tag for CSS. Okay, if I want to style it like this, like what we have here, guys, like super nice, super modern. Okay, so we're using something called CSS, guys. So I'm styling that with CSS. I'm adding some basic containers and headers, guys. Essentially, I'm using pretty standard email formatting HTML language, guys. Okay, so emails are always sent and formatted in HTML. Okay, and here we are adding variables. Okay, so here, for example, here we have a p tag, and p tag is and p tag has a variable which is JSON.script, guys. Okay, and if I look at the received email, this is essentially that. This is the JSON.script. So I'm accessing script data through a JSON from the previous nodes. Okay, and then I'm just essentially printing it out right here. And to style it nicely like this, I'm just using some HTML to emphasize it, and also just some CSS right here, guys. So essentially that's how it works. Again, guys, you will be able to download this entire thing for free and actually analyze and see how it's done and works, and create some videos and send some emails yourself, and then you can kind of see it yourself how it works behind the scenes as well, guys. Okay, so I think I covered most of it. Let's now go ahead and generate a UGC and execute the workflow, guys. Okay, and to do that, I will do it manually right here, guys. But if you want to run it automatically, you need to enable the workflow, and then every day at 9 a.m. or at midnight, it's going to execute the workflow and do its own thing, guys. Okay, cool. So let me do it manually, execute workflow, guys. And now each node will do its thing and follow through the workflow. Here we are getting the data from Hagen, okay, merging everything, transforming that into JS, getting the video. Now it's gonna wait 30 seconds. So this part will take a bit of time, guys. So let me put you on a brief pause, and I'm gonna get back to you once it's processed, guys, okay? And while it's doing its thing, guys, actually, let me just show you in live how it works. So here we can see the API request was success, and here it's now generating the video in the agent, guys, okay? And until the status is completed, okay, we have 29%, whatever is going to be loading. Now it's going to be going on the retry loop, okay, guys? That's essentially a good visual example because it's still already in generating in agent, okay? It's going to be going on the retry loop until it's fully generated and completed. And once it's completed, it's going to do the rest of the steps, guys, okay? Awesome, guys. So now it says the workflow was executed successfully, so everything went smoothly, and we only took three retry loops, which is pretty good, guys. Sometimes you might see like 5, 8, or 10 if you're doing more complicated content with AI. But here it is, guys. It generated the video. Let's go and check it out, and let's play that. Nice. It even added some captions, which is pretty awesome. Nice. Again, it's using our custom AI avatars who are clones. Okay, so it's using one of our custom-made AI avatar clones. Awesome. But again, if you guys want to use specific avatars, you can do it. You can use specific voices and etc. For now, I'm just letting AI to handle everything on its own. But you can predefine which avatar you want, because if we go here, we have all of these avatars, so you can literally choose which one because each avatar has an ID and each voice has an ID. So you can essentially preset the any way you want, okay? Your automation flow, guys, okay? Cool, so this is good. And let me just open up the JS one because I think that's kind of cool to see. So we are essentially taking all of this input data right here and transforming that into a organized and cleaned up data. So here we have the URL to download the video. Here we have the video ID and the script, guys, okay? And if you look at the video, that's essentially the format, okay? So date, the niche, the script, and the link, okay? And then we just simply style it in a format that we want through the HTML and CSS, guys, okay? So essentially that's what it is, and that's how it works, guys. I hope you did find this video useful, and let me know down in the comments if you ran into any issues. If you did, I will definitely help you out, okay? And don't forget to download this entire template for free, guys, okay? Because that's one of the best ways you can learn, by just playing around, disconnect them, break everything, and that's the best way you're gonna learn, okay? And if you have any suggestions for content, if you want to challenge me and suggest me to create some kind of flow, guys, let me know down in the comments. I'll do that. And if you're a business and if you are or a content creator and you need custom AI automations or solutions, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and we can discuss whatever the business needs that you need, and we can tailor something specifically for you, okay? But if you did enjoy the content, like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you next time.